So what got you into DJing?
In the beginning, it was breakdance music. Breakdancing when I was about 12. I really got into dancing and through disco and funk. Then I discovered hip hop and rap. But I didn't really like the rap. I preferred the music and where the samples were coming from. So for me, it all became about sampling. And I remembered, like, my dad had a record player, but I was more fascinated by the record player turning rather than the actual records. Yeah, it was from when I was about 12, 13 years old. Really, all came from breakdancing, fundamentally.
What was the first record you ever owned?
I went to a shop. My sister was doing some dance classes, and so we went to the shop and we asked for some music, and the guy recommended this album, so we bought it for my sister, and it was George Clinton. It was Funkadelic, One Nation Under a Groove, the album, and we got home and put it on my dad's record player, and she didn't like it. She was like, "What's this crap?" And I was like, "It's great, that." I actually like the artwork more.
Is it just to dance our way out of our constriction?
What was the first track you ever mixed?
I had a Nucleus on a cassette because I only had one deck, and I was playing that, and I mixed in Cool C, like for about 15 seconds. I got it in sync with the beat, and I was over the moon with that because I didn't have variable speed, so I was pushing the record round. And I remember just after that, my dad had that variable speed record player downstairs. So what I used to do was put the record downstairs, put it on, run upstairs, pop my record player on, and then stand on the staircase and listen to both and see if I can get, like, basically mix from room to room. It was ridiculous.
What would you say about the current electronic music scene?
It's really good. Like, things are obviously developing very fast, but at the same time, things are regressing. Like, there's a lot of things that have gone before that are kind of getting repeated, but in a slightly different twist. You know, disco, house, dubstep, you know, even the funk and soul scene, you know, it kind of goes forward and goes backwards. So, and hip hop is the one where I find it seems to have split. You know, like rap music now isn't so much about hip hop anymore. It's a totally different music. It's more electronic. So yeah, it's an interesting time that we're in, but onwards and upwards.
What advice would you give to aspiring producers and DJs?
Start with something simple. Start at the beginning. Learn your history. It's all about knowing what's already gone before. You can be so inspired if you look back at the pioneers and see how they did it and what they did, and then use that to your advantage, and then you can move forward.
Where do you see the scene in 10 years' time?
Probably exactly the same. I don't know. My influence is so wide. You know, from rock to jazz, funk, soul, everything really. That, like, it's all about just taking the little bits you like and sort of making this sound. I didn't sit down and intentionally go, right, we're going to sound like this. It's just, it is all of my favourite bits that I like, Actually, the last thing I heard that really sort of inspired me, not to make a song, but just inspired me and, like, excited me, was on Giles Peterson, his show. He always plays some interesting stuff, and he played they were like a trio, but they do jazz, hip hop covers, but they're also producers. They're called Bad Bad Not Good, and that's really interesting, sort of, to see how they've taken sort of standard sort of funk and soul and hip hop ideas and moving it forward, you know, in sort of making it sound futuristic in many aspects.
Do you see yourself as more of a technician or an artist when recording?
You've got to take both. I mean, I'm not very technical at all. I'm terrible, in fact. I hate technology. Some people love it. They sit on it for hours and want to learn and read all about it and get a bit nerdy. I hate it. I want to like get the idea down. I don't want to learn new software. I want to get this same software I've had for 20 years and just make a track. Mark Lowry, who is a friend of mine, he's always making me update and sort of, you know, get new equipment. Like, he's the one that told me to get Traktor. He's the one that made me buy the Mac. He's the one that made me buy Cubase, because I was using Cubase of 20 years ago, and having loads of problems. But I'm very old school. I kind of like that labour of love. It takes a lot longer to do something the way I do it, where he would go, you know, you can do that by just pressing that one button. And I go, no. But yeah, it's you have to obviously learn some new aspects of technology, but most people I know gets too swept up in it, and it's important to sort of bring it back to basics, you know.
What's the oldest or most retro piece of equipment you still own?
Funny enough, just happen to have it here. This probably has to be the oldest thing. This is the same machine, not the actual machine, that I used to use when I was about 12, 13. And I used to pause mix on this, which basically means you press play and record and hold the pause down. And then you put a record on, and you try and catch the beat. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you lift it off on the 1, 1, 2, 3. And you can get intricate. You could just do a kick drum like 1, and then change it for another snare. So boom, then another snare, and then change the record. So you get really intricate, kind of stop and start. It was obviously very limited in some of the levels, would be like louder than quiet, you know. So, but that's where the ideas originally all came from, was from using this. And I recently found this for £50 in RPM in Newcastle. And I was like, that's the same machine I used to have. So obviously I bought it, and I just did another pause mix last month just to see if I could still do it. It was really tricky, actually.
And it features in the new video.
It does, yeah. It's in the new video, Smoove Turrell, in a track called Now or Never. We use that because that is the tape that we did in the video. That's not the song that's on there. Like, that was just for visual purposes, obviously.
What song's on there?
It's a pause mix I did. Because I actually I went online because you can't buy them in shops anymore, and I bought 2 cassettes. So this one's still sealed. Some might say that's really retro.
What's been your favourite gig so far?
It's always a hard one to answer that, because I get asked it a lot, and every gig's so different from the other gig. But I would probably say I love the big festivals, you know, like we played Trans Musicals Festival in France. That was amazing, probably the best gig we've ever done. All filmed live on French TV as well. And Festival was amazing, and playing with Nile Rodgers from Chic, that was unreal. But then you've got smaller clubs like in Moscow, you know, tiny little intimate venues that we love as well. You know, that's I like that variation, like from big to small.
Be true now or never, like it's the first time.